8. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. But hey, what's up if anybody's watching? What's up? I don't know if people are coming on tonight. I don't know. When I started this, I was pretty good about inviting people. Like, hey, we're going to start a morning show. I was going to try to host an open mic. And I was pretty good about inviting people. And then I was also pretty good at telling people, like, if you ever want to come back, just let us know. Or let me know. And I had some people lined up, but they dropped out. So if anybody wants to come on, yeah, I even made a sign in case people aren't listening. Chat me up if you want to hang. Maybe I'll even put that in the comments too and pin it so people know. This might be short. I don't know if we have people coming on tonight. It's not a bummer. It's fine. Whatever. It's allowed to happen. We've had 2 people on before. Excuse me. But if anybody does want to come on, just let me know. This is weird. I can't find the chat in the on the Facebook page. This is literally my least favorite kind of content of somebody just trying to fill time. This isn't fun for me or the audience. Chat me up if you want to come on. Might only be here for 5 minutes. Hey, has anybody read this the self-help book, The 4 Agreements? It's pretty good. Here, I'll Google it. Just to give a plug. There's me. Oops. It's a good book. Here we go. The 4 Agreements. I read it in mostly one night. 20 pages of it was the next day. The 4 Agreements, a practical guide to personal freedom, a Toltec wisdom book. It's $5-ish on the Kindle. And I don't know. I recommend it. I probably should read it a second time just to. I mean, it's all very common sense stuff, but hey, it's great that one person is cracking up. I'm laughing that you're laughing at this, because it really isn't that much to laugh at. Anyway, this is a great book. Gary Hughes. Oh yeah. Let me. Can I have a set? Yeah, because I'm not doing a set. I'm just hanging out. Let me find the Zoom thing and then message it to you. Oops. Sorry, we're listening to ourselves. Here, I'm just going to paste it in the chat because that's just the easiest, quickest. Hopefully that link is clickable. But anyway, Jesus. There. Gary Hughes. Come on. All right. Yeah, but read that book if anyone's looking for a good, I don't know, should I say life-changing book? I don't know. We'll see what my life is like in a month or 2. But that's really good. And then this is, I'm still sharing, yeah. In and of Itself on Hulu is very good. It asks you, it's a here comes Gary. It's a live stage play, but they tell you to turn off your phones before you watch. And you should. It was good. It was a little, hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
Hey.
Sorry.
This is we usually have like 4 people that come to this, but not tonight. Did you see it? Did you see it on Instagram?
Nah, I saw it on the book. On the book, it was just like a very
Oh,
loose mic. I was like, a very loose mic. What's that mean?
yeah. Well, it's every Monday. How's
Oh,
it going?
nice. Man, it's going well, man. The Bay is cool. They opened back up out here
Oh
in
yeah, good.
California. I guess it's good. Yeah. I guess it's good. Comedy's starting to come back.
Oh yeah,
Doing those what they call the parklets. A lot of those parklet shows.
Yeah. In a parking lot?
I think they've been doing those. The restaurants, they like the sidewalk, they will build like an extra platform like where you would usually park.
Oh
They
yeah,
do
yeah,
all
yeah.
like these permits things. They call those parklets.
Yeah.
So people been doing the parklet shows where they just have people sitting there and you just on the sidewalk, and that's basically the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
What's up with NY?
It's cold here. I mean, I go out for walks. There's snow on the ground. It's you know, pretty bleak, but people are smiling under their masks. That's what I
Damn.
tell myself. Things are all right,
That sounds like some 1984 shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, I think that's the book. That's funny.
yeah. I'll tell you one joke because, like I said, I never prepare anything for this. I'm barely writing these days, just because it's sort of like I don't know. I do this and that's enough. You know what I mean?
That's
But
all good. Go off the top of the head. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. It's not really. Maybe it's not really a joke. It's more of a premise. But it's that I was trying to think of something that connects us all,
Mhm.
and I think I found a universal truth, and it's that we all have vegetables that we back home that we should be eating.
Right.
Everybody has vegetables that are like they're gonna throw out if they don't eat them. I think that's universal.
I think that's a good premise.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I think it's a good premise.
Fuck it. Yeah. Hey, this is one of the regulars. Pip Smith is arriving, but we'll say hi to him, and then I'll spotlight you, and then you can
Bruh, you can do whatever.
You could go for a half hour.
No, I won't do that. I was about to like head over to the grocery store. I was like, it's time to get groceries. This would be a good time to get groceries.
Hey, I was just on a podcast and somebody asked me like, what's been one of your worst stand-up experiences of all time? And it like took me a while to think, and then I was like, oh, I immediately have one. Have you had any bad Zoom show experiences, or have they all just been like, sort of whatever?
As far as Zoom shows,
yeah.
I haven't really had any bad ones. I mean, I've had some where I just don't like whoever's running the Zoom kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Like they're not like, they hear all this noise. They're not like finding out the noise. They just have it. I don't know. Anyway, but in person, I had somebody heckle me like crazy when I was younger.
Oh right. Live is a different thing. Yeah, but I haven't had any Zoom like disasters.
I ain't had nobody come in and like what they call that? They've been saying people come in and Zoom and they Zoom.
Oh, like Zoom bomb?
Zoom bomb. I haven't nobody Zoom bomb us.
Yeah. Pip, you can start your video if you want. Maybe he's taking a break. But
Pip.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, this is Gary over in the West Coast, Bay Area.
I remember
Pip. Gary from the West Coast. How you doing?
How you doing, brother? I'm good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. I can't get Zoom to change my name from Sam Rosenfeld.
Oh,
which is
I might be able to do it.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I don't want to interview for jobs as Pip. It just seems like it's like it's like a bad way to set up your employment potentials.
Yeah. Hey Pip, we're gonna let Gary tell some jokes, and then we'll figure it out. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Pip, I'm gonna
give it up for Gary Hughes.
Don't even trip, Pip. Just say something on my mind, and I'm gonna get up out of here and let y'all do y'all thing and everything.
Don't leave.
All right. Gotta hit that grocery store. All right. Let's try this. Are older people Elder people are very interesting. They're very specific when they leave voicemails. You ever see the details they put into the voicemails? They're like, "Hey, Gary, it's February 8th, 10:30 in the morning. The weather outside is, I say, partly cloudy, about 35% of precipitation. We're coming up on the year of the ox. The year of the ox is coming up, and the #1 movie is still Citizen Kane. Anyway, just wanted to see how you're doing. Let me know when you get this message." And I'll be like, "Yo, why are they so fucking? They're just so crazy specific." I eventually workshop that too. I gotta eventually workshop that. And older people, they have their dreams. Their dreams are very vague too, right? Younger people, their dreams, your dreams are crazy abstract, right? You're like fighting a Rubik's Cube dinosaurs or something. You're like flying in your dreams, all kind of stuff. And younger people, you can't tell people that they were in your dreams, because younger people see dreams as a sexual thing. Like if you're like, "Hey, you were in my dreams," people are like, why you put me in your dreams? And you're like, "Yo, this like you were like an extra in your dreams," you know. But older people, they like to call you when you're in your dreams. My uncle would call me, be like, "Nephew, hey, what's up, man? You was in my dream last night. We went to the store and got wheat bread instead of white. What a nightmare." Anyway, call me back when you get this message. You're like, "Why did you have to tell me that about this wheat bread?" Let's see what I have. Should I say this? Is this a joke? Anyway, since we opened, I just recently did like some in-person shows. What's today? I'm losing track of time. Today's Monday. Saturday night, we did like 2 shows. And long story short, I'll tell you this. 2 years ago, my older brother passed away, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, to fill that void, it was very lustful time for me. I ended up like having sex a lot. And like, you fuck who you're around. I fucked a lot of female, not a lot of female, but some female comics, enough to like almost ruin my life, you know? These are like your coworkers. They're like your coworkers, man. And I met my girlfriend on Tinder, and I remember just messaging her in the beginning. I told her this just to tell her something about me, like, "Hey, I went about this the wrong way, and I had to try to fill this void with lust and all this other stuff." So she comes to the shows, and she always tries to like sneakily, like in a sneaky way, ask me if I've had sex with some of the female comics. She'd be like, "Do you hang out with any of these comedians outside of comedy?" And I'd be like, no, I don't hang out with any of these comedians. What about this particular person? And I'm like, "No." Just like, "Oh, have you had sex with her?" And I'm like, "Hey, stop asking me that. It's like the 5th time you asked me that." Like, it's just so weird to just keep asking me if I had sex with people. I don't know. But she's like, I have a right to know. It's like, no, you don't. I don't know how to figure that out. But that's just hella weird. I don't know. I just think that's weird. I never asked her any of this shit. I never asked her who she fucks back then. I have a past, man. And it did sometimes I stopped getting like my libido went down, my sex drive kind of went down, and she noticed. And it's just that don't you want to do freaky shit to people you don't care about? Is that just me? Like I want to do freaky shit to people I do not care about, not people I care about. Like my ex, when we used to get freaky, and then I do something like ejaculate on her breasts, like right after, I'll be like, "Oh my God, babe, let me get you a towel. Who did this to you?" I'm a certain monster. Anyway, that was all. That was all I want to workshop. Hey, I appreciate it. What do y'all talk about on here, man? Do y'all like discuss like the world takeover? What y'all be doing?
I don't think we've ever talked about anything important.
No?
No.
Hold on. Let me look at this magazine. Hold on.
I mean, we've definitely just hung out and talked about stuff. Oh, Pip, your microphone's off or on or not on.
Oh, it's muted.
Yeah.
My bad. I muted it because I'm not wearing headphones and I did not want it to pick up an echo during Gary's set.
I wasn't just talking. But for y'all, I got this Cannabis Business Times to help see what's gonna. And they got this nice little handsome white guy there.
Who is that guy on the cover? That's the handsomest owner I've ever seen.
Harbor Farms. He's they're in Michigan Marketplace. I guess he's the Michael Ward. He's the CEO of that place, Harbor Farms with a Z, not an S. And he's making money on weed.
Wow.
Well, good for him. Right.
Yeah.
I'm losing money.
What have you learned from that magazine? Any that specific issue? Anything you've learned?
I've not. This is not my magazine. I have a PO box, and whoever had the PO box before me, I keep getting their mail. So whatever's interesting, I just take. But if it's not interesting, I just give it back to the clerk. But I've tried to see what's going to boom as far as stock.
Yeah.
But you have to take some real reading. I'm looking for like pictures and shit.
Yeah.
You need real reading. But I just got some what's that called? CBD lotion. So because of this. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I haven't jumped into those cannabis stocks yet. I should. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Nobody needs to invite me. You know what I mean?
I don't know really anything about investing, but
yeah, me neither.
So I don't know how to invest in cannabis exactly. Like,
well, there's apps. There's cannabis investing apps.
Really?
Yeah.
There are apps just for investing in cannabis.
Yeah, I think Stash is the big one.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do mine through Fidelity. It's not really the cannabis I want to invest in.
Sure.
It's normally like the chemicals they make to do the cannabis to like keep the cannabis clean.
Oh yeah.
Would be the smarter part that I want to invest in. But
that's good advice, I guess. Only because it's the only advice I've ever heard.
What about like pipes and other paraphernalia? Could you invest in that? In like glass blowing and
I don't know.
Companies, because they're set to do pretty well as well.
I don't know if there's any like conglomerate glass blowing, like I don't know.
Maybe there should be, man.
Yeah, it might just be like little like mom and pop places.
Monopolized glass blowing conglomerate.
Yeah. There's got to be at least one glass blowing monopoly, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta find
glass blowing. I got my hand in all this glass blowing. There's no glass blowing happening without me.
So the Democrats have the majority in the Senate and the House, so they could really make legalization happen in the next couple of years.
That's true.
And then when that happens, we're going to start seeing some major market moves.
Yeah.
Now I need
the time to invest is now. Yeah.
That would be the time, because it's probably not going to go down in the next couple of years.
Right. It's really going to take years for them to legalize it federally. That's
everything takes years.
Yeah.
Right. The idea is like to just get ahead of Reddit.
Yeah.
As long as you invest before Reddit decide to do one of their wacky shenanigans.
Right. Hey, have either of you guys read Dune? The book Dune?
I've read Dune when I was very little.
Did you love it?
I did not, but I was too young to really like get it.
So Gary,
did you love it?
I haven't read it, Gary. It's like a very thick sci-fi book. That's like 50 years old, and people love it. But I have multiple friends who just started it, and I had no interest in reading anything that lengthy. So I did find an audiobook of it on YouTube, and it's like 12 hours or something like that.
Ooh.
But I don't dig it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those sci-fi books that I feel like a lot of people know because it was first of its kind.
Yeah.
But now a lot of people have written books that are similar to that and are probably way less boring.
Right. Well, the one thing that stuck out for me is that we're following this royal family along, this, from one planet to another planet. I don't know why I'm rooting for them.
You don't find them to be likable?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. Maybe it's because they're royalty.
I mean, that's just a trait of a lot of like fantasy stories where they're about royalty. But you never really think about like royalty is not a good thing. They're
right.
literal monarchist tyrants.
Yeah.
Right? Why should I support these people? Right? They don't deserve rule. They didn't get elected.
No.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Gary, do you fuck with sci-fi at all, or not much?
I do not fuck with it. I do not fuck with it. But when people start talking, I have like that like Simpson monkey playing cymbals in my head. Like,
yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I hear you, baby. I hear you.
You should fuck with sci-fi. Some of it's weird.
Yeah, some of it's pretty good.
It's all weird out here. No, I like it. It's very great imagination, but I can't read a sci-fi book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just.
What do I think of when they're talking about crazy stuff that I can't imagine?
Man, I'm thinking of Panda Express.
Oh yeah, you have grocery store in your future. What's on the list?
No list. That's why it takes me a long time to shop, I guess, because you're just sitting there like, do I need graham crackers or not? I don't think I need graham.
I think you always need graham crackers.
I have some from like Costco. So that's not. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not Costco shopping. This is Safeway shopping.
That's a different kind of shopping.
Yeah, exactly. Those are two different. Costco shopping is like, your whole check is going to Costco.
Right. 2 cards.
Yeah. Simple shit. You don't even need. You're like, what am I gonna do with all this fucking? I don't know. Allergy medicine. I don't even have allergies.
Yeah.
you get allergy medicine in bulk.
Yeah, I get it. Why not? You never know when bed bugs are coming.
Yeah, that's
so. Like, I'm glad I got all this allergy medicine for these bed bugs. Keep coming, bed bugs. I have big boxes.
Yeah. Anyway. Bed bugs are terrifying.
Yeah, I've never had them, but it doesn't sound fun.
I only hear like nightmares. Like,
yeah, like, nobody has a good bed bug story. You're right.
Yo, these bed bugs. I got along with my bed bug. My bed bugs sing to me. They sing to me. Now, I used to have bed bugs when I was with my mom. Oh man, you're not lying. You just wake up and you just know there's bumps on you.
Oh yeah.
And when you see like fresh whelps, you know that the bed bug is somewhere near. That's what I realized. It's like, yo, that's fresh. So you start searching. You like, where the boy at? And sometimes I had to kill him like one by one, like throughout the. No bed bugs.
Do you think it's scarier to have bed bugs as a kid or as an adult?
Definitely as an adult.
Which I think is true, but it seems counterintuitive because the kid might not know how to like combat it. An adult has the means to.
Kids probably think of bed bugs like monsters, like mythical creatures. And once they actually encounter bed bugs and they just turn out to be little bugs, they're probably not so intimidated by them.
Oh.
Whereas an adult will just see, oh, they're just little bugs, but they turn out to like ruin your entire life.
Right.
So I think they're way scarier as an adult.
You're right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and they lay a lot of eggs.
Yeah. Pip, do you have anything that you wanted to try out?
Not really.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
I don't either. I got shit that I'm writing, but I'll do a new set on Saturday.
Live or you mean on our thing or somewhere else?
Yeah, I'll do that. Talk about the news. I like talking about the news.
Central Park has a snowy owl over here. That's what people have been talking about on our end.
An animal?
An owl.
Is that type of owl?
Yeah, a snowy owl. People are excited. I went to look for it. I didn't see it.
Oh, wow. That looks beautiful. That looks beautiful.
Yeah. That's all I got.
I'm assuming it's all. Oh yeah, it's like a camouflage. Pretty good.
Here, I'll look it up too, just in case anybody who's watching can see what we're seeing.
Oh, what you got?
I want to see what you're seeing. I can't see it.
I'm just googling snowy owl.
It made me think when people started talking about this Central Park thing. I don't know that I've ever seen an owl in the wild.
An owl?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one just like in the woods. I've seen one at the zoo.
Just like chilling. I've seen an owl.
I don't
they
know.
Don't look like that. I mean, sometimes they look like that, but the ones that you see in the wild, that's a remarkably beautiful owl.
Oh.
Yeah. I've seen them in like just walking through the national parks out here in Colorado. They have owls.
Yeah. Pip, how long have you been in Colorado now? Like a year, 2 years?
Since August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not too long. And I think that I'm going to ride out my 1-year lease at this house and then move back to Jersey.
Oh, all right.
Not because I don't like it out here, but because I found a really cool place to live in Jersey City. So I kind of want to do that.
Yeah.
Also, I think comedy's probably going to start up again soon enough.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary's already doing some, yeah.
Yeah.
Gary,
I mean,
have you been to the East Coast?
Me?
Yeah.
Baltimore?
Oh, yeah.
That's about
Baltimore counts. That's the East Coast
Baltimore
city.
Counts.
But I wasn't out willy-nilly, like, you know, getting that whole East Coast experience.
I like Baltimore, though. I've had some fun times down there.
Be more.
My grandmother lives in Baltimore, so that's my only like association with Baltimore. I don't know what else there is to do there. They have a bunch of museums that I went to as a kid, and
never did any of that. They drink Rhode Island beer down in Baltimore. They love Rhode Island beer, which
made from Rhode Island.
It's made up there. Which we all drink beer from other places anyway, so it's I don't know, but it seems like they always talk about how they drink Narragansett, which is Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah,
that just sound good. Narragansett.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to get groceries now. I think I'm just going to eat out one last night and then groceries tomorrow. I was supposed to do that last night. That was the same.
What kind of food are you gonna get?
I'm gonna get some near me. I think it's they know taquerias over here, but this place called Brenda's is like soul food.
Oh, nice.
But that has too much. It's too oily. Like fried chicken. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but then I don't want to fried chicken. I'm trying to work out. I gotta run later tonight. I want to run later tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get healthy.
Yeah, it's so hard to get healthy because you got to work out and change your diet. And
I agree.
One of those things, but try to do both. It's too many things.
Pip didn't even like saying the "and" in that sentence.
Yeah.
He was like, change your diet and work out.
Right. No, you ain't
lying. I actually enjoyed that ad.
Yeah.
But whenever I work out, I just want to reward myself by getting takeout. It seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Fair trade. That's usually me and payday. It's like, it's payday. Oh wow, I'm about to order out.
It's deceptive when you get money on payday.
Super deceptive because it's going so fast, and you're like, yo, what the hell, man? I can't wait till next payday. The next payday, you're like, yes, I'm ordering out.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a new straggler. We've got BZ Douglas, who's probably not going to tell jokes, but he might play a song.
BD.
Hang on, I'm trying to get my video going here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it doesn't like my FaceTime. It's like dead or something. Uh-oh.
Or
hang on, I got another camera. You get to see more of my messy room if it works.
Hey, this isn't anything that great either. Look at this. This is stuff everywhere. We
Oh,
decorated.
weird. I can't get any of my. Oh, you know what you have to do?
Hmm.
You
There you
have
go.
to hit the start video button. I'm just selecting changing the source.
What kind of camera you got there?
That one's too dark though. I have to like change the settings on it. It's like a wide angle one. It's just a simple, cheap like USB external thing. But I can
1090.
move it to different spots and it can hook onto like anything. So if I want to have my camera not over me,
Oh yeah.
different stuff.
I see you.
How you doing, Sean?
Oh, pretty good.
I haven't seen you since your set, your 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
That was great.
Thank
That
you.
was a magical.
Thanks. Gary does not know what we're talking about, but
You
like
did 10 minutes?
well, like in October, I instead of like one joke coming to me, I had like a full 10-minute set come to me. It's never happened before. It was just like one joke after another, and they all fit together, you know. So I did
Right.
that 2 weeks ago, and I recorded it. I'm gonna put out a comedy EP of the best 10 minutes of my life.
I
Yeah,
like that. That's funny as fuck.
it was
It's
good.
a good idea.
Yeah.
It was a good 10 minutes. I saw 2 of the 10-minute sets, and they were great.
Yeah, I stuck around for a couple like after yours, but yeah, I really enjoyed yours, and I was glad I decided to like stream myself watching it and then live stream that. So and then I had one friend I haven't seen for a while. I used to work with in New York, pop in, and he enjoyed the hell out of it.
It was lots of fun.
People were very complimentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice when people are complimentary.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like it doesn't
I
happen
like
enough.
it when people say nice things to me. I like that even more than laughter.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it feels really great when you tell a joke that makes people laugh, but it feels even better when people give you like a good review.
Oh, right. Oh. Because the laughter is loud. The laughter is loud, and like the compliments are never loud. They're quiet. They're like quiet and like special.
Right.
Yeah.
You get a lot of.
I'm gonna share the thing. It's like hanging out at the thing.
Oh yeah.
Sure that thing. I'm gonna go get this burrito, get this taqueria or something.
Oh yeah.
Right on, man. Enjoy your burrito.
Getting a burrito.
Always good to
Hey,
see y'all.
post a picture of it. I want to see a picture of it later.
Yeah,
The burrito?
definitely share that burrito.
It's either burrito, nachos, quesadilla, or tacos.
Ooh.
So, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Y'all be safe. I
Yeah. Good
appreciate
seeing you,
it.
Gary.
See you as well, man. Take care, guys. Peace.
Yeah, Gary. Good looking out, man.
Man, talking about burritos and tacos is a great way to exit any room.
Yeah,
leave
no,
everybody
dude,
hungry.
Yeah.
You always want to leave on a high note,
Right.
right? So if you got people thinking about burritos, that's a good start.
Brian, I bet you would know the answer to this. Not to take it into a meaningful place, but what does Biden's anti-private prisons bill actually mean?
Well, the thing about it, my understanding on a loose level, is that it makes big headlines, but the vast majority of private prisons are not federal. And that's pretty much all he's ending.
So it's purely a symbolic move. Well, not purely, because there are federal private prisons, right?
Again, it's better than nothing, but it gets touted as more than it is.
Yeah.
It's very, in other words, it's very heavy on the symbolism and not so heavy on the practical, like actual usefulness.
Right. That was what
I don't want to alienate our Republican viewers here.
I will.
but
I'll
as
also
to the
alienate.
left.
I'll probably also alienate the Democratic viewers, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think that you and I are pretty much on the same like lane.
I had an interesting interview with someone who's actually a website client of mine. They have a nonprofit that just does legal advocacy on issues, and they focus on like impeachment and getting money out of politics and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're nonpartisan, but it was interesting. At a certain point, I'm just like, just so you know, like I'm an anarchist because I'm sitting there like I'm casting a lot of shade on like how the Democrats handle things, and and he has to walk a tightrope of like, well, they're nonpartisan, so he's not like. But it was interesting talking to someone who's very institutional and like, at higher echelons and writing legal briefs and stuff like that. And then I'm kind of at the scrappy, like, why the fuck aren't they doing this?
Yeah. I got a buddy who works in public policy, and his personal beliefs are like pretty much socialist, but in practice, he's like a centrist Democrat. He's like, well, that's the only way I can even talk to the people that I have to talk to. I can't know that I'm a socialist because that's not going there. They won't even have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but
I have high school. I have a friend from high school who went on to write for like BuzzFeed's like political wing, and then somewhere else big. But we're out of touch, and he's got like a massive Twitter following. So it's like I've tried to DM him. I'm like, hey, Chris, you remember me?
Yeah.
But I remember he cared a lot about politics in high school. He was also gay. He was like one of the first gay like people I knew. And this is back in like 94, 95. Just on the cusp of it being like, mainstream, like, hey, it's fine. It's not a big deal when kids come out,
Right.
But so he was way more politically into stuff before I was. He wanted to go to American University, study political science. So he's been on that track, and he's very much in the inside the Beltway mindset. And I would kill to have like a interview with him as like the grassroots activist, raging Twitter user, anarchist that I am.
Well, maybe you could pose as from your high school as somebody who wants to interview an alumnus.
Where's the echo? Who's guilty of the echo? Pip.
It's because I don't have my headphones on.
Oh.
We got to the bottom of it. Good work, everyone.
Yeah. Shame. Where's the shame bell?
Yeah. I watched the movie Moby Dick last week. Are there many movies of Moby Dick? I don't know. This is the 1956 version.
Okay.
And
have you read the book?
I've never read the book, and I actually in high school, my English teacher, I think sophomore year, was talking in front of the class about how Moby Dick is such a great novel and why it's such a great novel and how important it is. He went on for like 5 minutes talking up how wonderful Moby Dick is. And then he was like, but it's too long, so we're going to watch the movie starring Gregory Peck. So I've never read it, but I watched it last week, and then I looked up just the story of it, and it's based on a real whale.
Wow.
A real albino whale that like tore the shit out of a bunch of boats.
I read that in like a Cracked article once or something.
Oh yeah.
Top 5 like stories that are based on crazy true things or something.
Right.
I get stuck in loops where I discover something I like. Like I fell in love with. Are you familiar with the TV show The Expanse?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's based on a book series called The Expanse is the series. The first book's called Leviathan Wakes. And it's like Game of Thrones and how it's just really epic and detailed but how it's not like Game of Thrones is that the authors have been cranking out the books one a year and they're they're going to be done, and the show is
Yeah.
in the 6th season, which is going to hit right where the end of book 5 was. So I have read this book series now, what they've released, at least 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And I've also started rereading because my wife has started reading it in like her little mini book circle. They're reading. Have you ever heard of Old Man's War?
No.
It's one of the most fun sci-fi series. Like, without spoiling it, but teasing a little bit of it. Like the premise, like what you find out in the very first chapter is, so in this world of the sci-fi world, on your 75th birthday, you're eligible to join the Colonial Marines. And all the people on Earth know is that, well, somehow they make you young again, because it's very kept separate, like the space entity, the colonial part of the Earth, from, and so you take this like space elevator up to this station, and then when they get there, what they find out is like they transfer their consciousness into a clone they had pre-made, because you register for this years in advance. And anyone from, apparently there was like a big war, and anyone from like the country that was on the bad side of this war, like India and some third world countries, they can just go up to be colonists whenever they want. But all the people in America have to wait till you're 75, and they have to serve in the Marines first. And so they have this clone, they transfer your consciousness into your new clone, and then your old body like dies in front of you, just like it falls asleep. And then you're in a body that's green because it gets chlorophyll and it gets more oxygen. You only have to sleep like 2 hours a night. You have all these other enhancements, like a brain computer that you can customize, and all these old people then spend the first week on their transit to where they're getting stationed. They're like, just have fun in your bodies. And what they all end up doing is just fucking like rabbits.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is like the opening of it, and it's so epic where it goes from there, like what the purpose of the Colonial Marines is, and the other aliens they get into, and how, you know, and then this is the opening book. It's a great book in and of itself, but it's like another series of like, I think 7 other books.
And what's that called?
The first one's called it's Old Man's War, which is pretty much, they all fall under that canon, and it's by John Scalzi. He did a lot of books that you might have heard of, like a popular one is Red Shirts.
Red Shirts is really good. I read that one.
That's who John Scalzi is. So his Old Man War series is fucking amazing. But
yeah, Red Shirts was super cool. Yeah, I should read more of his stuff.
Hey, don't read it on our account. You know,
whose account should I read it on?
Mine. No, read it because I said so, and then come back and say thank you for telling me to read that.
There you go. Yeah,
that's usually what happens with The Expanse. I'm a big evangelist of The Expanse too, as the show and the books, and everybody who takes me up on it is like, "Oh fuck, you were right. This is great." And after I don't know, were both of you into Game of Thrones?
I've seen some episodes. I didn't love it.
Yeah. No, well, you're like one of the people who dodged Lost, which ultimately, I guess, went nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of those people, but I got way invested in Game of Thrones and the books. Got ahead. I read all the books, and then series was moving along, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? The Expanse is like, this soothing balm where like the authors of the show were running it. They're working on it. And they even just had a controversy where one of their characters got severely Me Too'd. It came out like he was abusive to all these fans at conventions and all this shit. And so he was one of the most beloved characters on the show. And I'll tell you this, sorry to spoiler, I mean, they write him out at the end of this season, and they do it so fucking well. Like, it gives the character a good exit. It makes sense. They patch it up, but I'm was worried they were going to try to recast when there's one season left, and you can't do that. Recasting sucks.
Yeah, recasting. I can't think of a good example of it, like when it worked out.
Yeah, it definitely. They had one big recasting character in that show, and it was a huge fail. It was just like a much less likable character for someone who's supposed to be warm or whatever. But
speaking of unlikable characters, Ryan. I didn't start reading Dune, but I listened to it on an audiobook,
That's on my list. Yeah.
and I don't like the main characters. I don't care about them. I actually
Oh,
stopped listening to it.
I'm gonna have to take that one in. I hope before, because I'd like to read it before I see the movie, because I'm excited. I love that director that's doing
Oh
it.
yeah.
But
Who's the director?
I'm someone who I like reading, sometimes reading the books after, if something's well cast, like The Expanse. I didn't read the books till I watched the first season, because it had a good little trailer that I randomly came across. I was like, what's
Yeah.
that? And I binged the whole first season, and then found out there was a book series, like 5 books out, and I read them all.
Hmm.
And then as the show progressed, what was cool is the way they adapted it is like they kept the same like plot points, like you get from here to here, but in the book they go like this way, and in the TV show they go like this way. And
MCU.
it's sometimes different characters, and so it's still fun. So I don't know if Dune is well adapted, it may help the movie in my head when I read the book.
Yeah. Well, have you guys seen that documentary Jodorowsky's Dune? Oh, it's so good. It's so inspiring. It's about this film director Alejandro Jodorowsky, who had got the rights to make a Dune movie in the 70s, and he got like Marlon Brando to agree to be in it. He got David Bowie to.
I have heard of this.
Yeah, and then it just all fell apart, and it broke his heart, and it kind of ruined him for years. But then he just talks about how the failure led to good things.
That's really sad.
It's an uplifting documentary, really.
Really?
Yeah.
That's almost a genre of documentary of like failed films, because I can think of, there's 3 now. There's that one. There's the one about the island of Dr. Moreau, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, I saw that
Then
one.
there's the one about the Don Quixote movie that Terry Gilliam tried to make.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of. Yep. Haven't seen it.
There have to be more though, like the movie about the movie that wasn't.
Well, in some ways, that documentary American Movie is about a movie that nearly didn't get made.
I'm sorry. While I'm with comedians, I have to put that out there.
Yeah.
Is that a mockumentary premise that's been mined, where you make up it's a mockumentary where you're talking about a movie that failed.
Oh.
So you get to make up the failed movie and all the fucked up things. So you could just go watch those 3 movies, look at the stories that they kind of tell, and then figure out like, oh, how do you hit, something like, oh, there's betrayals on set,
right,
natural disasters that are ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a good premise.
I think Documentary Now might have done that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, they've done everything that has a genre or direct.
I'm a bit of a sucker for mockumentaries. I like that stuff.
Speaking of, not speaking of mockumentaries, I have a documentary project that is hopefully going to kick off soon. We're going to release part 1 of 4. It took us a while to nail down like a title and the last bits of the motif, but we're going with State of Injustice. And so it's going to kind of focus on city by city, starting with Euclid.
Mm-hmm.
And
just all the shit that's been going on there with the cops.
Yeah, it opens up with the case of Luke Stewart, who I don't know if I've talked to you. I've written about him a lot if you follow my work.
Yeah. I've read about him, yeah.
Yeah. So he was just sleeping in his car, and a couple of cops came along and killed him.
Right.
And so he's bookended by 2 guys that also bubbled up nationally to some bit. There's Richard Hubbard III, who was pulled over on a bullshit, like, didn't stop at like the white line on a stop sign thing, and then they immediately like yanked him out of the car and beat the shit out of him on the street, and it went viral. And another guy, Lamar Wright, happened after Luke Stewart. He was tased while sitting in his car because he pulled over to like text someone, to be safe.
Yeah.
And it was a house that they were suspicious of, but they just assumed he was a problem, and they rolled up, tased him immediately. Turned out he had like a colostomy bag.
Oh
They just
shit!
yanked him out of the car and ruptured it. And, yeah.
Jeez.
So just kind of like putting a whole holistic spotlight on Euclid, talking to the citizens that live there.
Right.
And then the goal is to have it be a rolling thing where we can crowdfund really just like the editing time.
Mm-hmm.
Put together like an hour-long piece with the editing time all together. It's about like $4,000 if we charge sort of $25 an hour.
Right.
And we don't really charge for the time it takes us to like shoot it and my research time. So we have the backing of like Black Lives Matter Cleveland and probably some other organizations will help us crowdfund it once it's ready to go live. So
nice. Well, congrats on that project. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound really cool.
I can chat about it informally here. I don't think it's ready. I don't have stuff ready to like post there. I've got a teaser I'm sitting on that I've shown a couple of people. But
do you have a link to like a crowdfunding website that we could post in the chat?
No, not yet. For now, you could go to stateofinjustice.com. That's the title of it. And there's a mailing list sign up.
Mm.
And I do have a Twitter set up, just all the preliminary. We were trying on a lot of different names, and then that one was kind of floating around, and it was like, is that too like just open or generic? And part of me was like, oh, that's not that. We're not even gonna be able to get that. That's someone's using that for something. And
right.
I was really shocked.
There it is.
Oh, that's cool.
You watch it?
Yeah, and I was excited. I got to do. I applied like skills I learned in the advertising world.
Mm-hmm.
Like motion graphics and stuff like that, and then also music. So I got to score it. This is not for sharing. I'll let it be on your video stream, but don't share the link in the chat.
Oh, got it.
Anyways.
All right.
I mean, I guess I don't. Right now, I don't mind that people know it exists.
Sure.
So, and if they want to sign up for an email list, but there's, right now we're just teasing the thing we're going to release first. And once that's released, then the crowdfunding comes. So
got it.
If anyone's really excited about it.
Yeah,
that is really exciting.
Here we go.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the debut, I guess.
Yeah.
I really like the song. It was.
I want to thank Logic Loops for that.
Logic Loops.
Yeah, just Apple's Logic has like these massive loop libraries that come with it, and I think there's so much in there. It's hard to really put something together that's been done before, even though everyone's got access to them.
Well, it's a good loop.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing that, and then creating like the sort of alternate motif for closing out with the credits. So it was fun. That's the fun part of a really shitty project, because a lot of this was just listening to officer depositions where they're just dryly describing how they killed someone,
right?
With passion, it's just completely emotionless detachment, or looking at autopsy photos, or recreating, because we only had audio of this, so the other big work I did in this graphically was doing recreations using police photos and turning them like day to night, and showing like just making like a silhouette of an officer standing and doing like a moving thing with just 2D illustrations as they talk about what's happening, so you have something to look at while you listen to them describe it in their own words.
That's very cool.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Pip, do you have any projects to just tease, or I don't know?
Honestly, the only consistent project that I could tease right now is what I'm doing on the Stoner Morning Show on Saturday morning. I'll do fake news with Pip Smith. I've really been enjoying reading the news and coming up with jokes for that little project. I have not yet decided whether or not I'm going to make it all about, marijuana related news, or I'm just going to talk about the news in my own inimitable fashion. But I have been enjoying doing that every week, and I will keep doing it.
Nope, Sean, you're muted.
Sean, you're muted.
There we go.
There you are.
It's a self plug.
Oh, what are you plugging, Sean? What do you have, Mr. Wickens?
I mean, I guess I'll just plug the Stoner Morning Shows on Saturday, which Brian will definitely have you on to talk about State of Injustice when that's done.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have good news to I don't think I mentioned, like, the last big story that fell in with the semi-pro team in Cleveland, where they snuck on Tamir Rice's killer onto the team, just sort of hush hush, and then the black players found out, and when they complained, they kicked all the black players off the team and kept Tim, and like flew him out to LA during the offseason, did all this shit. Like, so that story broke. The coach and the vice president both resigned.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is.
And that's the best I get to applause. Don't get that. I don't do comedy shows or whatever.
Right.
I'm not accepting awards, but I interviewed two of these players who also, one of them spoke to like the New York Times and Sports Illustrated. And after I sent him my thing, he texted me like, "This is the best one. This is the best coverage there's been of this so far."
Oh, nice.
So whenever I do that with a source, that's my biggest applause line I can get for I killed it.
Yeah, well, that's huge. That's like
you probably still get that big like adrenaline rush from having killed it.
Yeah, the other rush I get is when I get threatened by people I'm trying to confirm things from that are like hostile, like the subject.
Nice.
Like my first story when he threatened litigation when I told him what I was writing about and asked him to what do you have to say about all this shit? I'm going to write about you. Well, I'm going to sue you if you write that. And I'm like, okay, you go ahead.
Right.
Hostile people are my favorite.
The Chicago vice president told me when I wrote this up that this story is nowhere near the truth. And so after the president and vice president resigned, I had fun writing him back. I'm like, it looks like the story's a little bit closer to the truth than you thought it was.
Right.
Anyway, I wanted to know about this still and this. I always get that rush when I hit send on those.
Emailing it to the man.
Yeah. That's cool.
Guys, thanks for hanging out.
I needed the distraction. I was just...
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your content.
Oh, sure.
State of Injustice.
Keeping the link the same so I can just go back and find it and pop in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, easy. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.